Hello everyone and welcome back to Life Redesigned. Carrie.
Bob.
Today is the day that we have been waiting for about 4 months.
Yep.
We are finally leaving Florida. Now before we get everything going, I seem to be doing this pretty well.
Oh, what
I
are you
do
doing
want to
now?
say
Oh, here, come on already.
happy birthday to Carrie. We won't discuss age because she gets mad that she's turning 51, but she's doing a beautiful job, and I couldn't be more proud to be doing this journey with you. So, that being said, we are currently at Encore Crystal Isle here in Crystal River, Florida. As you see, we're all packed up and ready because, well, quite honestly, we're on vacation again. My company gives me way too much vacation times, it seems sometimes, and other times not enough. But we have one of those policies of basically use it or lose it. So we decided that we're going to use it. Now, I bet you're wondering, well, what could you possibly need a vacation from? All this full-time RV living is going to be great. You can't be tired. Well, trust me, we do. And as much as we've had a blast over the past 7 months doing all of this and traveling from RV resort to RV resort, what we truly miss is camping. So we're going to take you along today. We're going to show you what, well, full-time living, what vacation, a travel day, all that entails. Stick around. Now, when Carrie and I were getting ready to pack up and everything, and we were talking about making a travel day video to leave here, we started coming up with, well, do we want to do a review on this resort? Well, quite honestly, time does not allow that to happen this time. But we can say when we were writing down all the pluses to this RV resort, it was easily going to be an hour-long video. And we didn't want to do that. But if you're noticing, look how shiny the rig is, not the truck. The truck is filthy, but the rig itself is shiny. Why do you ask it's so shiny? How did it get that way? Well, we asked at the front desk, would you mind if we washed our rigs? Because this place here is covered in boats. Everybody's been washing their boats. And there's like, yeah, we don't care. Well, that's an extra bonus because that just saved me about 75 bucks from having somebody come out and do it for me. And quite honestly, I do a better job. And that's a good point to make too, is that a lot of these RV resorts will allow you to do it. And we always recommend just simply asking the front desk, as we've covered before in quite a few videos, a little respect for the staff and for the team members of the RV resort can go a long way, especially when it comes to that. Because like they told us, most people don't even ask, they just do. And they were very happy to have the ask. I will cover about this RV resort. They do allow mail at no charge, which was great because there was a few packages that we needed, some camera equipment, some lenses, stuff like that. It's been fantastic. Everything about this place is great. And if you're a boater, this is paradise because everybody here has a boat. You park it right at site. Yeah. So for case in point, in reference, that there is a premium site. And then you have just standard grassy sites here. Our 1,000 Trails memberships gives us access to the premium site, so we took it. But look, this place is so fancy. They water their water. And I'm not going to go too close to the water because there's been reports of gators here, although we haven't seen them. Carrie and I were greeted yesterday. We had a whole bunch of people outside our RV, and they're taking pictures, and they're like, oh, look, excited. And Carrie and I are like, wow, Carrie, we're finally famous. We hit 2,400 subscribers right here in this RV resort. And we're like, we've been spotted. And lo and behold, when we came outside, because now there's people walking through our site, and we're like, oh wow, this celebrity thing is getting pretty exciting. We found out that they weren't there for us. It wasn't the Life Redesigned group. No. It was simply people that were taking pictures of about a 4.5-foot tree snake. We met some incredible people. One lady who just grabbed it by the back end and was just walking away with it. The creepiest thing I think so far, so RV living full time, was that snake because this thing was huge. And of course, Carrie and I being the age that we're at, we didn't think to grab our cell phones or to grab the camera and take pictures. It was just, it is what it is. So we missed some great shots, but I can tell you, there's snakes here. And then we went for our walk as we do every day, and then somebody else had about a good 1-foot size red snake.
Yep.
That they
He
would
brought
just
from
casually. Yeah, he didn't know if he brought it from home or because he was in Alabama. He just casually shooing it along. Speaking of Alabama, we will be traveling today. We're leaving here. We're just going to back the rig up. We're going to hook up and bail. We are going to be going to Frank Jackson State Park. We're going to be staying for a few days there. And I'm actually looking forward to just sitting back, relaxing, getting out of the hot sun of Florida. And I know Alabama's not going to be a whole lot different, but the temperature forecast there for the next few days is about 10 degrees lighter, maybe a little less humidity, and we'll get right up. Now, I'm not going to spoil it. You stick around, we'll show you the site that we were able to secure and on short notice. Hey, Carrie, guess what?
What, Bob?
We are not in Florida.
Yeah,
High
I know.
five. After about 5 hours, maybe 6 of straight driving, we say straight because it was really just flat land and nothing going on. We finally made it to Alabama. We are in Alabama, but more importantly, Carrie, boy, I have a couple of things to go over. For those of y'all that were asking about the tool, yes, we were able to finally get that replacement, and yes, we took some advice, and Carrie wrapped this in bright orange duct tape, so we'll never leave this behind again. Hopefully.
So we hope.
Yeah. So we got to say we are at Frank Jackson State Park, which is in, again, Alabama, which is...
The city of opportunity.
It is definitely a city of opportunity, and if you don't believe us, roll through town. There's about 80 to 90 signs that will tell you just that. But it actually is a beautiful downtown. Hopefully we'll get to explore some of this. We're only here for a couple of nights, but it is a beautiful downtown. Everything that you think of southern small towns, like it's crazy. The nearest Aldi's, for reference, is like 70 miles, so we're not going there. There is a Walmart about 10 miles away because I have to stop there. We have to pick up some medical supplies. Why, you ask? Because Bob doesn't have a step stool. I'm getting beat up here by bugs. And I went to put up the camera on the back and I fell. And look at this. Yep, that's officially...
He got a boo-boo.
That is officially the first road boo-boo of this whole full-time lifestyle. So I'll take that as a win. But we're here in Site 17. The ranger here was absolutely fantastic. We checked everything in online. I think the price here to stay was roughly 35 bucks. I'll leave a link in the video description below. 35 bucks a night. Fantastic. Check-in was very simple. The nicest southern gentleman ever, who said he wouldn't even try to pronounce our last names. I said, congratulations, I don't like to do it either. And he said, just go down to your Site 17, which is the 17th site on the right. Talk about easy. And that's really all this is. There's a whole bunch of sites backed right up to the water. Plenty of fish in here. If you are an outdoor person, kayaker, boating person, fishing, this is an area for you. In fact, where we're heading to next in a few days is equally as nice, and we've been there before. But at any rate, the rig still held up nicely. Everything's still washed. Everything's in great shape. We're happy. The truck, however, does need a bath, and believe it or not, it needs its first oil change as we just hit 5,000 miles coming over the Florida-Alabama border. Now, because everybody asks, as eventful as this stuff gets, what about internet here? Because apparently I'm the internet guy now. Internet here, well, I didn't deploy Starlink because we're only here for a couple of nights, but T-Mobile, because I do have to work in the morning, T-Mobile came in around 30 megs down and about 10 megs up. Verizon, which we're streaming right now, SpongeBob, to test that out, is doing roughly 30 megs down as well, but only had about 4 megs up. This will be adequate to get me through my one shift tomorrow, and then I'm on vacation, so we don't have to worry about it. So not too bad. We do have the grill hooked up, although the bugs out here are pretty rough. But more importantly, Carrie,
Yes, Bob.
the humidity's gone.
I know, it's great.
It's about the same. It's about 88 degrees here, but without that Florida humidity, the central Florida mugginess, it's actually a lot easier to deal with. I'm sweaty because, well, let's face it, I moved, and every time I move, if I go like this, I sweat. Well, we'll check back in here probably around dinner time because apparently you guys want to know, what you eating?
What are we having?
I'm not quite sure, so we're gonna have to go find some grub because we have kicked ourselves off of carnivore for a while. Now that we know, the beautiful thing about carnivore, for those of you asking, is that it was able to give Carrie and I an idea, because it's an elimination diet. It was giving us a great idea of where inflammation was coming from on certain things, certain foods that we were allergic to that we didn't quite know. So we've been able to move that out, and now we're back to keto, and we're using the Lose It app to track calories, because as though everybody tries to tell you that carnivore doesn't count calories, you should count your calories. The bugs here are no joke. Like, I'm gonna have to get something to get rid of them all. But we'll check back with you in a few minutes.
The next day.
Well, you ever have one of those days where you intend to do a whole bunch of things, but you're so peace and whatever with the world that you just fall asleep? That happened to us last night. I'm happy to announce that we are officially so old that we fall asleep at like 8:30 p.m.
We switch time zones though, so.
Yeah, all right, so we're wild and crazy kids, fall asleep at 9:30 if
Well,
you're on the Eastern time zone.
Which we were for the majority of the time.
Yeah, so at any rate, one of the things here is this place is incredibly peaceful, incredibly calm, and we started looking at what is there to do in Alabama, and while there might be plenty of opportunity, there wasn't really much to do as far as like activities. So we did decide that here, within the confines of the state park, pretty much has everything that we needed. This has an island with a nice boardwalk to get to, pedestrian footbridge, and we're gonna go check out this island. We're gonna bring you guys along. Along with that, this place also has a whole bunch of nature trails. They have a beautiful boat ramp down here, as you see off in the distance. And way up on the other side of that hill, they have cabin rentals and everything else. Again, very peaceful, and this is kind of what Carrie and I needed, was this reset, because ever since we've been full-time, I mean, we've been full throttle everywhere we go, and now it's time to practice what we preach, which is slow life down and start enjoying our own journey here. So, as you can see here, this is the G. Cleve Pierce Memorial Footbridge. This takes you over to this island that ends up being pretty good sized. Now, as we get closer, when we go over this footbridge, not only do they have a little, easy access way here, but look at this. They got a little fishing area, so you can fish off, or you can sit and watch the sunrise or sunset. Now, as we head over to Memorial Island, they have a whole bunch more of these clearings where you can have a nice picnic lunch, or you can sit with your best gal pal and just kind of take in. Did you just make a frowny face? She did. She made that. That's the Penelope face. Comment below if you think she should stop doing that. At any rate, this is a nice little area, so you can kind of picnic and just take in the sights and the sounds of kids splashing around. And just when you think it's safe and you're out of Florida and you don't have to worry about gators, the first sign we come into contact with says, warning, beware of alligators. Now this here is some of the things you may see: some red fox, raccoons, turkeys, armadillos, which we see a lot of those on the road. Squirrels, of course, coyotes, interesting, and a wood duck.
Oh,
and this is all the informational stuff they put out here. And birds of prey. So those were vultures, turkey vultures. So we've seen quite a few of these buzzards in the area. This is also alligators. And then the types of things in the water, you get largemouth bass, bluegill, some cooter, some beaver, otter, water snakes, crappies, catfish, and herons. In case you haven't figured it out by now, neither myself or Carrie is a big fan of big snakes.
How about we just see trees?
As this is Honeysuckle Trail, and Yeah, it's actually pretty surprising. Back behind us, we hear something in the trees. Back behind us, they have these awesome clearings where they have mowed out, and it seems like they keep pretty good track of. But what a fantastic little place. Want to get married? Yeah, Junior, Amelia, we're talking to you kids. You know, if you ever decide you want to get married, Pops can perform the ceremony right there. It's a beautiful spot for it. Or just, you know, hey, sometimes you just be happy with grandkids and a picnic. Carrie almost fell through the hole in the footbridge, but she's okay. She's going to make it. You okay there?
I'm good.
All right. So now, let's come through here. And you see a lot of rhododendron through here, which from those of us that have been living in New Hampshire for a while,
It is not a favorite.
we're not a favorite of those. Although they do look beautiful in the summer when they bloom
For 5 minutes.
for about 5 minutes. Yeah. But look at this on the back side of the island now. Easy trail, so you don't have to worry about getting too stressed out. Do you hear that, Carrie? Silence.
I love it.
It's the first time, honestly, everything here, first time in 7 months we've had perfect quiet is right here. Now after here, we head further north a few hours to Lake Guntersville State Park for a few nights. And then we jump back into the Thousand Trail system. But we've been to Guntersville before, and while it's nice, this is amazing. The quiet and the peace here, absolutely incredible. While it's just you, me, and Carrie, we would ask you kindly take a moment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We also ask if you could kindly give it a thumbs up and maybe share the video. That helps our videos get out there with the help of the good Google algorithm to push our videos out to the next, because there's always somebody who's equally as happy to discover us as you are. Well, that's a little self-promotion, but yeah. And speaking of self-promotion, you guys asked for it, we're giving it to you. You can check out the video description below. There's a nice Amazon storefront of all the accessories that Carrie and I have actually purchased ourselves. They're not sponsored. Those are things that we've purchased through Amazon for our own RV life. We highly recommend those products. And if you're looking to make a purchase, kindly click our link prior. We earn a very small percentage commission that doesn't cost you anything extra. That helps go through the channel, go back into the channel to buy more things like this backpack so Carrie can add extra water for me to carry. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that we purchase to make all these videos. Anything else you want to add?
No. That is adorable.
It's hard to make out, but beyond these trees, as you can see here, they have spots here for kayaks to come through. That's one thing that Carrie and I miss tremendously is our kayaks.
I tried to get them back, but RJ sold them on us.
Yeah,
How do you like it?
We had given them to our son to hold on to us. That was the one break from our rule of no stuff in storage units and whatever. And that's kind of how that opener that you see in so many of our videos about not having stuff in, you know, friends' houses, storage units in the woods somewhere, is because that's all we had until our son decided he was going to actually take us up on the offer to sell them and keep the money, and he sold them. And ironically, as we head back up north, which we'll cover in a little future video, he sold them and we kind of missed them. So now we're looking into, with the new truck and the back flip system that we have, maybe looking at the possibility of having some rails put on so that we can haul some kayaks, and we should have to pick up new ones. But those were Perception kayaks and they were really good. But look at this nice little bench here. I love what this, just the rustic feel of everything. But yeah, just imagine just looking out here, taking it all in, sitting on your own personal slice of heaven. Yep.
It's
really,
just missing an umbrella.
That's it. I'll tell you, it was really funny the first time that Carrie and I drove through Alabama was with our two girls, and we drove them from Gatlinburg, Tennessee down to Panama City Beach, Florida, and we drove through Alabama to kind of get a feel for it, and we saw nothing. In fact, the most activity we had seen was a couple of cows in a field, and we said, why would you ever come back to Alabama? Through the process of doing this channel, and this again was at the early stages of this channel, someone had recommended, boy, are you missing out? Alabama has a lot to offer in the form of outdoor recreation, fishing, things of that nature. And any time that we've been back to Alabama, it has never disappointed. You might not find shopping meccas everywhere, and
That's okay.
1,000 trails except for one. There's some of the nicest folks we've ever met, been in this state. And as far as just nature, they have an appreciation for nature that is very hard to rival from any other state. Now as we come out of the trail, and this is the first clearing here, look at this. Just
wow.
incredible. Just a nice place for a family gathering, or just to take a lunch. You take your kayak out here. You can skip the footbridge, take your kayak out here, and just spend a nice day with your best gal pal, and have a picnic. And you look way over in the distance for perspective. Way out, that other piece of land right there with the RVs rolling through is where we are. And yeah, absolutely incredible. The other part I'm going to say about this too is we're filming this on a Sunday, and Sunday videos tend to get a little more comments, a little more responses out of people. And one of the things we had this morning is somebody reaching out and going, hey, I've been thinking about going full time for quite a while now, and I'm just hesitant to do it. You know, what would be, you know, your words of advice to give me the final push? And again, we're not experts here and can't tell you how to live your journey. But when you want to see this and just be part of this, is all the reason you should need. This country is amazing, and the more you get out to enjoy it, and just this lifestyle just gives you that opportunity, that flexibility and the freedom to see just random things like an island in Alabama. Yeah, population is like probably nothing. And I think there was 5 people I saw downtown, but still, just to have a kid. I think Opp at one time was a pretty big city, or big town, I should say, and they did have quite a few people out downtown. But you get the point, small town living. If you've been to Opp, Alabama, you happen to know what's the inside scoop here with these little benches. Yeah, drop us a comment below. We'd like to know, because we hate leaving an area and not knowing everything, but sometimes it's impossible to know everything. That's why we count on you to let us know.
Yes.
Now, we just figured out, so over here, where I'm pointing, is a little beach for the public to use. Now, if you follow this here, then you see this bridge. This bridge connects that beach all the way out. I don't know if you can make it out on the cameras. We're using the GoPro today, but if you see there's a Class A out in the distance, that bridge connects the campground to the public beach. Pretty interesting, because Gary and I took the long way around, and it would have been nice to have known that. In fact, when we're here, everybody's been super nice, and it's probably one of the better state parks we've been to in quite some time. $35 a night for full hookups, and all of this is just fantastic. I would have liked a little map, a little handout, or something that says, hey, guess what? You know, you're in the city of opportunity in Opp, Alabama, and there's this stuff going on. That kind of would have been pretty cool, but at the same time, you know, again, it was probably one of the most peaceful nights we've had in quite some time. In fact, this morning, it was so nice and so quiet that we opened up all the windows in the RV, something we haven't done since we first bought it in South Carolina, and just let nature in until Carrie started sneezing, and then we told nature, get the hell out, because she's sneezy. The randomness that you'll find in the woods is always amazing. It's just randomly placed here. Pretty neat.
That's the best.
Yeah, it's something where you can hear the kids screaming across the waterway. And as you can hear, maybe you can make it out, hear this no, 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 no. It was a dad asking his kids, hey kids, we're ready to go home. They don't want to go home. I'm not going to lie, Carrie, I miss those days. Of the kids, you know, as much as this lifestyle's been awesome, you do miss being a parent sometimes. And having those moments where the kids really enjoyed being somewhere and didn't want to leave was great. Unless it was Chuck E. Cheese and they're throwing a fit and they're throwing pizza up the wall like we've seen those kids do that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll take that any day. Now I head out here, and that was pretty much the loop around this island. Not that big, but still just enough to be peaceful and enjoyable. As you see somebody out in the distance on a paddle boat. This is nice. Very well done. Now as Carrie takes a picture of that little turtle on that log. Now if you can't see it on the video, don't worry, you can always follow Carrie on Instagram. I'll leave our Instagram handle below, and while you're at it, you might as well check us out on Facebook. I'll leave that below as well. And you get these behind the scenes shots of something that Carrie finds interesting along the way. Carrie just tends to post a roughly daily schedule, and we try not to be too flooding you with it, but she does a great job. And while you're there, stop and let her know that you learned about the Instagram account or Facebook account from this video. She always finds that nice to know.
Be like, hey Bob, hey Bob.
She got another subscriber. It's pretty cool. So as you see here, as we head back over the footbridge, something just dawned on me. So when we came over this footbridge, it says, warning, watch out for gators. Okay, fair enough. And then you see over here, off in the distance, you got kids swimming in the same area. Apparently they're not watching the signs that say watch out for gators. Now if you're from the south, did you swim in bodies of water like this when you know there could be gators? I'm always curious because gators kind of scare the crap out of me, as do snakes. But swimming in lakes and ponds and stuff growing up is always interesting, but never around gators. In fact, these people over here, they're rock stars because they're paddle boating where there's gators right underneath their feet.
We wouldn't do that. At least you're out of the water.
I wouldn't do that. All right, now as we get the signal from the GoPro, the battery's about to go. I wish they would make longer batteries. Anyhow, that's our cue to cut this video here. And that'll be that. Hopefully you enjoyed this little look at Travel Day as well as Alabama. And one thing we've learned, besides being in the city of opportunity, is that people around here like their beef because all the front license plates are all about beef. And ironically, beef, well, that's what's for dinner.
What's for dinner?
And before we go, we did learn people filming. But we were filming people on the paddle boat. Yeah, they got in trouble. You need to wear your life vest. And more importantly, make sure your kid has a life vest on. Yeah. Even if you're paddle boating around the lake. Or they will come and get you here in the state of Alabama. For Life Redesigned, I am Bob.
I'm Carrie.
And we will catch you in the next one.